In preparation for tomorrow's class on solving systems of equations through substitution, we're going to practice substituting expressions. This is tonight's homework. Let's take a look. If we're going to substitute expressions, we're going to solve for x when given a value for y. Let's go ahead and select that value. Let's say that y equals 5, and we're going to substitute it into the equation 3x plus 2y equals 7. In general, substituting means to put in place of. So here we're going to put 5 in place of y because y is equal to 5. So we write 3x plus 2, and in parentheses we write the value of 5 for y. This is all equal to 7. Then we simplify. 3x plus 5 times 2 is 10 equals 7. Then we solve for x. This is a two-step equation. So the first thing we want to get rid of is the 10. Remember, we undo any addition or subtraction first. So subtract 10, and what we do to one side of an equation, we do to the other. Here we have 3x. Remember, I start from left to right. 3x. 10 minus 10 actually cancels. And this is equal to 7 minus 10, which is negative 3. Solving for x, we're going to divide, because the only way to get rid of the 3 times x is to do the inverse operation, which is division. So we're going to divide each side by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1, and we have 1x is equal to negative 1. Negative 3 divided by 3 is negative 1. This is an example of a simple substitution. So now let's take a look at actually substituting a value that is an expression. So here we're going to solve for x when given y equals 5 minus x. So just like the other one. So let's take the problem 3x, I'm going to move this up a little bit, plus 2y equals 7. Now in place of y this time, we're not going to just substitute the 5, we're going to substitute 5 minus x. So here we go, 3x plus 2, open parentheses. What are we going to type in here? We're going to type in 5 minus x. And all of this is still equal to 7. Now remember, with the parentheses, there's a number right outside, means we're going to have to distribute. But let's again work from left to right. So 3x plus, and then we're going to multiply 2 times 5 and 2 times negative x. 2 times 5 is 10, and 2 times negative x is negative 2x, and all of this is equal to 7. Continuing to simplify. Now before we can solve, we must simplify each side of the equation. Here, if you take a look, we have like terms. So we need to begin by combining our like terms. 3x minus 2x is x, and then plus 10 is equal to 7. Solving for x, we need to get rid of the 10. So the opposite of adding 10 is to subtract 10. And we have x, and then of course positive 10 minus 10 cancels. And you're left with 7 minus 10, which is negative 3. Now, let's try the same thing because it works the same if we try substituting expressions, but we're going to solve for y this time. So take a look here. Be sure you understand it. Let's try solving for y. Let's go ahead and substitute an expression into the equation. So here we're going to solve for y when given x equals negative 3 plus 2y. Again, we're going to use the same equation. So I'm going to move it up a little bit. Now, instead of just plugging in negative 3, we're going to substitute x with the expression negative 3 plus 2y. So this is 3, and in parentheses, we're going to write negative 3 plus 2y. And then we're still adding 2y, and all of this is equal to 7. So using distribution, we multiply the 3 that's on the outside of the parentheses times each item inside. 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. And 3 times 2y is a positive 6y. We still have plus 2y. And all of this equals 7. Now, once again, we have like terms that we need to combine. We need to simplify each side of an expression before we can solve. So this becomes negative 9. Well, it was already negative 9. And 6y plus 2y is 8y. And all of this still equals 7. So solving for y, we add 9 to each side. Remember, we undo any addition or subtraction first. Now, these cancel. Negative 9 plus 9 cancels. And we're left with 8y equals 16. Solving for y, we divide each side by 8. And we have y equals 2. Now that you've watched me do a few, I want to give you 2 to try on your own. You go ahead, give those a try. Pause the tape if necessary and come back and I'll have your answers. Now, here are the 2 solutions to the problems that you were given. Take a minute and check over your answers to be sure that you have the same answers. Pause the tape if necessary. Now, try these 2 problems for homework. Be sure to bring them into class when you come.